Namaste. Thank you so much. Welcome to this meditation where we're going to find a comfortable seat. So whether that is on the floor, cross-legged like me, or you can sit on a chair. I would say stay sitting upright, whether that's on a chair or on the floor, rather than lying down. But comfort is key. So feel free to prop yourself up with cushions or blankets so you feel nice and comfortable. And just wriggle around, get your fidgets out. And then lift your shoulders up towards your ears, back, drop them down. Do that a few more times so you start to release tension from around the neck, around the shoulders. And then let the shoulders drop down away from the ears and let your ears drop from side to side. So you're lengthening the sides of the neck. And then just hold on one side. And then change, drop over to the other side, and again just hold. And then lifting back up to center. Resting your hands wherever feels comfortable, so on the legs, in the lap, your palms can be up or down. Again, comfort is key, so whatever feels good for you. And then when you feel ready, close your eyes. And these first few moments, just letting yourself arrive. Noticing any sensations around you, any sounds, any smells. Noticing any patterns and shafts of light. Just becoming accustomed to your surroundings. We're taking these first few moments to let ourselves arrive so we can let go of the day, let go of whatever ever happened before. Slowly drawing your attention inwards, now noticing the sensations in the body. Noticing any sensations in the feet, in the legs. Bringing your awareness to your buttocks, noticing the support of the chair or of the earth. Notice any doing, any squeezing, any gripping. Often we carry that tension with us through the day, so give yourself permission to let that go, to feel your body soften. Imagine the bones in the legs, the sit bones are heavy, sinking down towards the earth. Feel as though the flesh of the legs, of the buttocks, is just melting down. And then bringing your awareness to the trunk of the body, noticing your spine. Getting a sense of whether you feel like maybe you're slightly leaning forwards or leaning back. If you're in a chair, you can allow yourself to just rest back into the support of the chair. If you're sitting upright, see if you can stack your shoulders so they feel like they're stacked over the hips, so the spine feels upright and tall. Notice the sensations of the hands on whatever they're resting onto. Any sensations in the fingertips. And then notice the sensations in your face. Notice if the forehead is creased, if the brow is furrowed. And as best you can, feel the face soften and relax. Feel the cheeks relax, the jaw relax. Notice the touch of the lips. Notice whether you're grinding your teeth, clenching the teeth. Soften the mouth and the jaw, maybe even the teeth will slightly part. And then notice the tongue. Often when we're thinking or concentrating, our tongue pushes forwards into the teeth or up into the roof of the mouth. So again, as best you can, let your tongue relax and soften into the mouth. And then bring your awareness to your breath. Not needing to change or control the breath in the first instance, just simply noticing how you breathe. Notice where the breath easily reaches. Notice which parts where the breath doesn't easily reach. Noticing the sensations of your breath in your belly. As you inhale, feeling the belly gently rise and expand. And each time you exhale, feeling the belly gently soften back to the spine. You can even place your hands onto your belly to increase that sensation of the breath as it moves in and out. And then bring your awareness to your ribs, to your chest. Again, noticing how the ribs breathe. Noticing how the lungs fill. Seeing if you can sense the different directions of expansion each time you inhale. Feeling the ribs expand from side to side. Feeling them gently expand from front to back. Noticing how the breath fills the lungs from top to bottom. And gently notice the movement of the breath in the nostrils. The coolness as you inhale. Warmth as you exhale. Now start to gradually lengthen your breaths. Just making each breath a little bit longer than the last. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Each inhale, inhaling a little bit more, taking more breath into the lungs. So inhaling fully, exhaling completely, emptying the breath out. So there's a little pause in between each inhale and each exhale. And then let your breath just come back to its own natural rhythm. So we've moved from a more active breath where we're controlling, we're conscious of the breath, to a more passive breathing, where we're just simply observing the sensations as we breathe. And then start to let go of the anchor of the breath and let other sensations arise. Maybe physical sensations in the body, or maybe sounds in your environment. Notice not only do we feel physical sensations, but no doubt thoughts, emotions, feelings will arise. Let's see if you can stay in this passive observer perception. So rather than that active conscious control, you're a passive observer. Sometimes when we think and we feel, we get dragged into the thoughts, into remembering, into planning. Instead, see if you can take a step back as if you were observing these thoughts, these emotions, these feelings through a window. You don't need to get tangled up. You don't need to act upon the thoughts or the feeling. Just simply notice that they're there. You can name the feelings. Maybe you can just simply name it as thinking. Or maybe if you're feeling a specific emotion, you can label it sadness, frustration, anger, whatever your emotions, your feelings. Remaining detached, but observing them as they arise. In the same way that we watch moving traffic, we watch the cars pass by, but we don't run out into the traffic trying to hold on to a car, following it on its journey. Instead, we can just stay at the roadside, watching the traffic gently flow through. Do the same thing with the thoughts, just let them flow by. Sometimes when we're in this mode of passive observation, we can have thoughts and feelings that arise that aren't necessarily very pleasant, and we'd prefer that they weren't there. And in these instances, we can use, it's a metaphor called the unwanted party guest. It's a good way of changing our perception of our thoughts. And just take a moment to imagine, visualize that you've organised a party. Your close friends and family are coming and it's beautiful weather, so you've decided to go outside and have a barbecue. Your friends and family start to arrive and the party starts to kick into full swing and you're all having lots of fun and people are still arriving. You hear the doorbell ring and you go to answer the door. And not only is it one of your close friends and invited party guests, there's also someone who hasn't been invited. Someone who you wouldn't really call a friend and you wouldn't have chosen to invite because actually they're quite rude and they're unpleasant. They can be offensive and you'd prefer that they weren't there. So you let your invited party guest in, but then you close the door on the person you would rather not be there and you go back outside to join the party. As you're talking to your friends, you can hear the doorbell ringing in the background and you know that it's that unwanted party guest that is still there waiting. You do everything you can to try and ignore the doorbell, to hope that they'll go away. But actually you become more and more distracted, more detached from the party and more involved in thinking about what this unwanted party guest is doing, wishing they were going away. Next time the doorbell rings, you go, you open the door, you say you're not invited, I don't want you here. And as you go to close the door, the unwanted party guest pushes their foot into the door, so you can't close the door. The more you push the door closed, the more they resist and push the door open. until you have to concede and let them in. And you go back out into the party worried about how it's going to unfold. And you at first watch the guests as they move around, hoping that they don't create too much of a friction. And then you notice that you actually start to slowly unwind. And instead of this unwanted party guest taking all your attention, you find that you start to actually relax. And the more you relax, the less you notice that unwanted party guest. And actually, when you let go of resisting them, wishing they weren't there, they become less offensive, less rude, and they start to calm down as well. And then you notice that some of the party guests are even laughing with this unwanted guest, even enjoying the company. And you start to relax. So the metaphor here is this unwanted party guest are these negative emotions, these thoughts, these feelings that perhaps we prefer wouldn't be there. But often what happens when we push these thoughts, these feelings away, they just come back stronger, they resist more, and they push for your attention. And all that means is that you don't get to then enjoy your party. You don't get to be in that present moment with those pleasant feelings and thoughts because you're too preoccupied with that negative aspect that you're trying to resist. But actually, if we open the door and we let those thoughts, those feelings in, it's often not as bad as we think. We can often create a place for those thoughts, for those feelings to sit alongside. And often we have things to learn from those thoughts, those feelings, those negative experiences. By remaining detached and just observing things as they unfold, it allows us a little bit of space to just observe. And that can bring us back to our center, that feeling of control. So for these next few moments, just stay and simply observe any thoughts, any feelings as they arise, without needing to get involved, but also without needing to push anything away. Invite and allow these experiences just as they are. And now let's take a long, slow, deep inhale, filling the whole body with breath all the way up to the crown of the head. And then exhale, sigh it out, let it all go. Bring your palms together and just take a moment to contemplate something that you're grateful for in this moment. Seal in that sense of gratitude. Take it with you for the rest of your day. When you feel ready, slowly open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll see you again soon.